Hey there, how's it going? My name's Mew. This is something a bit different. Somebody over in the Dominions 5 thread on Something Awful, they posted a victory post where they used a pretty interesting strategy to win. And I thought it sounded cool. And I know that not everybody can see the SA forums, so I asked them if I could just read the post in a video so that more people could see it because it's cool. And they said I could. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to bring the post up now using the magic of live producing. This was posted by a computing pun, otherwise known on Discord as J with a dot. And yeah, they won as I will pronounce as your from now on, because I can't pronounce ours, and I hate saying the word So that's what I'll read that as from now on. But yeah, I'll just read through it because it's quite funny how they won. Let's see. Hi friends, I, also known as Discord user J, have won the game Tinsel Torsion using the unique strategy of Doom Horror Reverse Throne Rush, where one summons Doom Horrors and uses them to eat the thrones of your enemies as if it were the Cataclysm, reducing the number of throne points to win the game until you win. This trick probably isn't, strictly speaking, an innovation. I came up with it independently, and I don't know of anyone else who has done it, but many other people have mentioned having already been aware of the concept, and there are a lot of Dominions players. I won the grand 20-player 700 province hell game Real Bad Dumb a few months ago via this method, but that game lasted 120 turns, and I wanted to prove it could be done in a normal 12-player game with a standard Cataclysm. So, how? I played the nation Yor, generally considered one of the weakest nations in the entire game. They have pretty bad troops, pay higher prices for infrastructure, their strongest and most consistent mage path is the second worst path, Water, their best mid-game tools are easily countered and done better by other nations, and they barely have any endgame whatsoever. Their good features are an expensive cap only with decent earth magic, an honestly very good foreign recruit nature earth mage, and some very niche nation-specific advantages that are necessary for my strategy to work. The first of those is this girl, Gala. The Gala is an unremarkable Recruit Anywhere N1 researcher with very limited battlefield utility. There's just not much you can do with an N1, especially when the nation also gets an N1 W1, with more research points and who can cast Frozen Heart for only 25 gold more. The only reason to recruit a Gala, unless you're really strapped for cash, is the rarely seen Elogist ability, which makes them count as a Holy 3 priest for the purpose of calling your pretender back from the dead. Unless you're very unlucky with the die rolls, it takes 20 Galas only a single turn to bring a dead god back. Okay, but you usually don't want your god to die, right? Well, true. But Yor, and its MA variant Uruk, have another extremely limited speciality. When your pretender god dies, it never loses magic paths or dom score. This is a nice perk and means you can be a bit more irresponsible with your god than you normally would. But it's surprisingly hard to turn this into a concrete advantage. It doesn't make your god any better at winning fights, just reduces the penalty for losing them. However, there's one specific situation where the ability to bring your pretender back to life without losing paths is absolutely invaluable. Wishing for Doom Horrors. Anyway, that's enough background info. Here's the god I went with. We have, what is that, Sexy Socrates, the Enkidu Great Sage. This is Earth 6, Astral 7, D1, Hardskin and Fate Weaving. Sexy Socrates is an extremely focused god for an extremely focused strategy. Even a single step off the path means failure. Magic 3 and Inspiring Researcher to make an aggressive research rush possible. Earth to cast Earthblood Deepwell, Order and Prod for the money and to recruit enough troops to make expansion possible. 1 point of death magic because I had 10 points left over. A low dom score could kill me, that is a dom 2 pretender. The death scales could kill me. The plan to recruit almost entirely research mages and not bothered at all with battle mages could kill me. Whatever, it'll be fine. I just need to assume that everything will work out perfectly. I expand with troops, end up with a not exactly amazing 11 provinces by the end of the first year. I meet Abyssia to my north, Lemuria and Agartha to my west, Veritas to my south. I found a province that lets me recruit Lavaborn in my cap circle, immediately begin recruiting as many of these as I can. I hope for them to form the mainstay of my early game armies, rather than my expensive, poorly armoured size 3 losers, but I ultimately can't ever recruit them fast enough, even once I've fought the province. I start making forts and labs early, and I think I have my first one up and recruiting mages by turn 9 or 10. My second one not much later than that. I have a single research goal, Alteration 5 for Mother Oak. I will spend the entire game with a desperate hunger for gems to make my strategy possible, and I need Gem Globals to feed this hunger. Yor has no regular astral mages. I do eventually find a site that gives me recruitable S2s, but on the turn I win the game I still only have 3 pearl income. I need to finance anywhere from 1 to 12 casts of Wish via trading and alchemy. It ends up being almost entirely from alchemy, and I end up burning more than 1,000 gems, turning them into pearls at a 2-to-1 rate. Throughout the rest of the game, I try to make a point of never casting any spells that cost gems unless it's a gem global, an incredibly vital battle-winning spell like Mass Regeneration or its Wish. But that's getting ahead of ourselves. I make it to Alt 5 on turn 15, but I, incredibly annoyingly, need to make a 2 or 3 turn detour to Construction 4 in order to make a Thistle Mace so I can reach N5. I make a good faith effort to buy one, but nobody else has the ability to forge one, very inconsiderate. During this time, I make a deal with Abyssia to join forces and invade Beritos, because they're hemming me in to my south, and also because Femoria offers to help out. It goes pretty well. Beritos' army doesn't seem very good, my Lavaborn fatigue out their elephants, and my cap troops are beefy enough that they win the attrition battles overall. I leave their capital to Abyssia, but come away with a fort and 7 or 8 provinces, almost doubling my territory. As soon as Mother Oak is up, I start researching enchantment, and I largely just kind of sit around and don't interact much for the next 20 or so turns. I have the infrastructure base I need in order to win. My goal is mainly to not appear to be a threat, but also to not be so weak that anyone wants to invade me. Take an indie throne, I join in a 3-nation invasion of Lanka, getting a bit more territory. I cast Earthblood Deepwell on turn 27 or so, immediately switch all research to alteration. I constantly ask to buy pearls from anyone and everyone, but almost nobody takes me up on it. Tien and Og, played by Uorochi, become large and powerful and are clearly the main threat to win the game. They hold 3 nations worth of territory and 4 thrones, directly border 2 more thrones, including one of mine, and are within elfing distance of another 2 indie thrones. I make a few attempts to organise a coalition against them, but I'm not really committing. I make a few attempts to stabilise the Saramatia Agartha Yomi Hell War that's been running for the entire length of the game, in the hopes that, if they're at peace, they might be able to prevent TNN from taking the indie thrones near them, but it doesn't pan out. I draw up the following map based on talking to various people. So we got Abyssia here, Throne, got TNN, former Ermor, Helheim being elfed. So this is Yor. To my knowledge, it's reasonably accurate, but even with this clear portent of doom, nobody but Abyssia is willing to fight the elves. Maybe it's because I accidentally labelled myself as Uruk, and they were disgusted by my cartographic error. Oh well. I tell my closest ally that it looks like it's just going to be the 2 of us. I'm taking the danger presented by TNN seriously at this point. An elf throne rush is the main way I can see that I might lose. However, when Abyssia attacks, I'm a bit slow to join the actual war, because I don't want to divert resources away from the final madcap research rush to Alteration 9. I keep trying to buy pearls from people, and mostly keep getting turned down. When questioned what on earth I want all those pearls for, I deflect, and in one case outright lie in order to make it seem like I'm merely hoping to summon an Apkallu. I spend more time on diplomacy in this game than I do in most any other game. It's hard to overstate how actually precarious my position is until I can start casting Wish. Almost any other nation in the game could probably trivially destroy me at this point. Ironically, my closest ally, Abyssia, is probably the one nation I could stomp in a fight, and I consider it a couple of times, but no. Getting more territory is not part of the plan. I buy a pocket ship from TNN, use it to extremely rudely sail across a small lake and take an indie throne that is otherwise entirely surrounded by TNN's territory. Orochi tells me it was rude, and I reply that one should never sell a boat without asking what it's going to be used for. I hit my research goal on turn 48 and it's time to get started. My god has Astral 7. With a mere 30 gems of boosters, he can cast Wish. When you wish for a Doom Horror, there's an unknown chance, possibly 50%, that it attacks your caster in an assassination battle. Most horrors do so much damage in a hit that returning won't always save you. Most horrors have soul-slaying attacks, though being immortal won't always save you. Being immortal or having returning are still good, of course, because they'll save you some percentage of the time, and replacing a Wish caster can cost hundreds of pearls. However, I'm using my Pretender, who doesn't lose paths. When he dies, all I need to replace are the boosters, so each Wish effectively costs me a mere 130 pearls. I've been religiously site-searching every path I have access to, and I've had 2 gem generation globals up for like 20 turns. It hurts to spend so many gems on such a basically inefficient process as alchemy, but there's nothing else for it. I turn my first 200 earth gems into 100 pearls and start the horror gacha engine up immediately, and get lucky on the very first pull. The army appears to be commanded by Raku the Hunter of Heroes. But there's no stopping there. The next about 10 turns, I try to cast Wish. Whenever my god is killed by a Doom Horror, I use 30 gollers to call him back in a single turn, and my national hero plus an indie S2 forge him a pair of replacement boosters. After I have 2 or 3 successful Doom Horror summons, I start sending them out to destroy thrones. I have 3 thrones. Abyssia has managed to steal one of TNN's, but TNN still has 3, so I target them first. I also prepare to attack Abyssia with conventional troops, although more out of thoroughness than anything else. As soon as CNN sees my Doom Horror, I assume that every other nation will unite against me. However, it actually takes an oddly long time, like 2 or 3 turns, before the reaction starts. By then it's too late. All my Doom Horrors are sitting on various thrones, and they quickly begin destroying everyone else's throne lead. Over the course of the following 2 turns, Archocephaly breaks a siege against one of my horrors with a bunch of astral mages, and scores a successful Enslaved Mind. But that doesn't matter. It'll still eat the throne. Soon enough. The Iron Throne has been destroyed by Umor, the Eater of Gods. The Golden Throne has been destroyed by Aegon, the Eater of Dreams. I waste 70 gems on a Ring of Sorcery in order to overcome Kurgi's Master Ritualist -9 that he can cast Teleport, because otherwise he's just stuck sitting there on my capital, feeble-minding my mages. Other than Arco, nobody else really makes much sort of concerted effort to resist the Tide of Doom. Or maybe they do. It's hard to tell the difference between defiance and submission when your weapon of choice is a nigh indestructible, mind-devouring monstrosity from beyond the void. At the same time, in demonstrating how incredibly all or nothing my strategy is, or possibly just how screwed yours is in the late game, my biggest endgame stack of conventional troops and mages, sieging Abyssia's fort, get their asses handed to them, despite an almost 6-to-1 mage numerical advantage, and having access to Army of Gold, and thus the ability to almost entirely negate the enemy's most significant magic path. Good stuff. But despite this, on exactly turn 60, 6 turns after I started the reverse throne rush proper, the outer throne has been destroyed by Aegon the Eater of Dreams, a victory. Here's the graphs. Provinces. You can see the big jump in the early mid-game as TNM becomes the primary threat, to the point where Abyssia starts attacking them. Ports, not much to say here. I have so many because I was churning out so many mages. Income. Just like with provinces, I am pretty solidly not in the lead by regular measures of power. Gem income. You can see how much site searching I was doing. I'm roughly equal in gem income for most of the game to nations that are almost twice my size. I assume he's the green line. Research. Oh, I guess he's the tan line, actually. That makes more sense. Research, this kind of speaks for itself, obviously, but what it doesn't mention is how lopsided the research was. At the point when my Doom Horror engine went online, I believe my research scores were Eng 7, Const 4, Alt 9, Tham 1, nothing else. I got a bit of all the other schools after hitting Alt 9, but didn't end up using it for much. Dominion, not bad for a starting Dom score of 2. Yeah, I guess. Finally, army size. Abyssia obviously dominates this one, presumably from huge armies of Dustwalkers and Mistbred. Yeah. So that was Jay's victory post. I just thought it was cool. I don't think I've... this is... I'm not good enough at Dominions to come up with long-term strategies that I'd employ over the course of a game. I certainly wouldn't try doing something like this, so I thought it was cool, the idea that you just wish for Doom Horrors and eat all the thrones. Apparently Doom Horrors stay pretty tame if the Cataclysm isn't happening, which is why you can do this. Yeah, but I thought it was pretty cool. I thought some people who subscribe to this channel might find it kind of interesting. I've never seen anyone try anything like this in a game. I've seen people throne rush, but not reverse throne rush. Yeah, but there's the post anyway. So I hope you enjoyed that. Again, that wasn't me, that was Jay with a dot, otherwise known as a computing pun. So congratulations to him, and that was a great little write-up as well. But hopefully you enjoyed this dramatic reading of it, and I will see you when I see you.